another of our after hours conversations here at the Power of 50, and it's been the spare parts focus today. As always at the Power of 50, our aim is to bring great people together to have great conversations. And here in the after hours discussions, I bring some of those experts across with me and just pull a couple of the insights that they've had at the end of the day. And my guest right now, Marco, as always, people who are watching this will know my job is really easy because I just get to chat to good people that know loads more than me. But the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is just tell the guys at home who you are and your company, etc.
Yeah. Hi everyone, my name is Marco Mambretti and I work at Cavotec, and I am the director of all the global spare parts. So I'm overseeing everything that we do on spare parts side for the Cavotec business to serve our customers.
Perfect. Okay, so you had the unenviable task of opening up some of the earlier presentations. Were you the opening presentation, if I'm right? Yes. It's been a busy day. Talk to us a little bit about what the message was that you wanted to get across when you were chatting to the guys, when you knew that there was going to be a room full of industry leaders. What was the message you want to get across? Talk to us about that.
Yeah, so the message that I really wanted to channel across today was really looking at our install base. So, every service business is built on an equipment that has been sold somewhere, sometime in the past. And how can we maximize that? So how can we really leverage on the existing install base and how can we unlock the potential of that? And I try to pitch it, sharing really the story of what we have been doing at Cavotec in the past years, of really trying to get a more mature approach to our install base, to get a better market penetration, and to really, unleash as much as possible the potential out of that.
Yeah, and of course there's a huge revenue potential there that we can generate. It's often untapped, and I think that's something that we started to see in your presentation was, bringing through some of this just through understanding that install base and understanding how we're working with our customers, really opening up the channels for additional parts revenue, etc. Would you say that's a fair assumption?
Yeah, it's a fair assumption, and on the top of that, it helps us as well internally in our company, because every service department is facing internal challenges from time to time to get, accepted by the rest of the organization. It has really helped us building internal trust and internal traction in saying the investments that we're making on a service side are paying off.
Yeah, that's really interesting as well, because I've done a lot of work around this, around how do we as service leaders, whether it be in the aftermarket, whichever vertical we're in, how do you get that voice at the table? And that's something that you can start to see coming through is that internal conversation, saying, actually, this is where we are building that trust. And are you seeing that kind of, as you mapped out the presentation today, is that something that you're seeing happen more, where we're getting that if in your organization, for example, service has got a bit more of an important voice, a bit more trust internally alongside your colleagues in product, etc.?
That's definitely something that is happening, something that start to paying off at all levels, not only at management level, where of course, numbers are the most critical important stuff. We all have shareholders that we need to please in each company, but as well I would say down to the level of our employees. I was speaking a lot about our field service technicians today and how they can really maximize this return on revenues. That's something that we started doing, and for them as well, it's a plus for them. I'm not gonna only go on site and do troubleshooting, but I can bring home more business for my company. More business for my company means that we get more revenue, we can add new resources, we can invest, we can grow. So that's something that I'm really seeing very, very powerful.
And this is perhaps, Marco, the perennial nut that's been been cracked many times by many companies, in the sense that how do we monetize that trusted advisor status of our technicians? Without damaging that. And you guys seem to have done it. You seem to have put in some nice ways of... Techs don't necessarily want to be sales guys, but at the same time, they are the eyes and ears of the organization. And you guys seem to have married that. So just talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so what we really managed to do with those guys that are, our key guys in a service organization, they always been very good at troubleshooting, but then we took the opportunity of training them, and we trained them on what we call the commercial awareness training. Okay. So they all went through this specific training to be able to, to communicate with a customer in a different way, to be able, to be able to go beyond the simple, I'm here to troubleshoot, I'm here to fix your problem. And then we've been putting in place a scheme, an incentivizing scheme. We call it the lead generation program, where basically field service technician, they could create a lead in our CRM, and once that lead, if that lead would have become then an order, they would have get incentivized out of that. So a percentage of that order would have been recognized in their pay slip, and that has been really a boost for us in order to get more leads coming from the field service technicians on the ground.
Absolutely, I've got you. So because we've seen it in the past where companies have failed because they wanted to get the techs to sell, but actually you've got that buffer in between where they're the eyes and ears, and they're able to put that in the CRM so that the sales team can follow up. So they don't break that trusted advisor, but they're still incentivized to provide that insight, which is what, and ultimately, that's still providing part of a service. If I've got a field technician arriving and saying, look, this asset is coming to its end of life, you want to be speaking about this, or this is falling out of warranty, or you're going to run out of X, Y, and Z consumables. For me, that's an additional service, not a sale, but it leads to revenue. Would you say that's right?
Yeah, fully right. And that's really what we're seeing as a success story so far. Now we need to leverage, we need to grow it, because we have pockets where it works, pockets where it works less. But that's really part of the ramping up plan on our side.
Perfect. The final question I've got really is, you opened us up with a great presentation, and then you spent the day engaging with, like you say, 49 other industry leaders alongside yourself. What would be the takeaway that you learnt today that you wouldn't have expected to have thought?
I would say really that despite different industry, different products, different customers, different geographies, we're all facing the same challenges on the spare parts journey. And that's something really that has been reinvigorating for me, because we're young in a service business, meaning that we structure it in this way only 5 years back. And myself, especially, I'm young in this position. It's 1.5 years that I'm covering it. So I was feeling like, I'm going in a room full of super experts, and I'm going to be the one that has to learn a lot. But it was fascinating to see that everyone is on the same learning curve. Everyone is having the same challenges, more or less. And that was, for me, really reinvigorating to go back home now and be able to already start putting in place some of the learnings out of this day and some of the connection established with the people here, to say, we can do this, we can do. I have examples now, concrete examples that I can take home. I can talk with my colleagues, with my peers, with my boss, and say, hey, that's something that they did it in this way, and I can document it, and now we can try to do the same on our side. So that's really the key learning, the key takeaway.
It's very much become a community rather than just a conference. That's brilliant, Marco. I've enjoyed the presentation. I've enjoyed speaking to you all day. Thank you so much for taking time in the after hours as well. See you soon.
Thank you. See you soon. Bye-bye.